Yo, what's up? This is Kunta Melodrama Crew. It's January 3rd, 2013. Happy New Year, by the way. So this is one of my first video vlogs, and basically, I'm starting this because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get talked about, and I think we should start talking about it. So, one of the first things that came to mind was something we were talking about in one of my classes, and it revolved around a communication theory. I talked about people who don't have voices. Had a lot to do with feminist culture and things like that. I'm not going to really get into that. The major question was, though, that spawned from it was, when do people get voices, or in other words, when do people start speaking? When do other people start speaking out for them? Wait. When do people start speaking out for other people? There it is. So that was the main question, and I looked at some of the obvious times in history where someone else had to speak out for another person or another group of people. The first obvious ones, the first three were black people. So that was a big one, and women. That was also a big one, and this is just within America. I'm not too familiar with other countries, but I'm sure there can be some good examples. And then the third one was immigrants, coming into the U.S. So the whole idea was, when did other people start speaking out for them, as far as their rights go, and things of that nature, and saying that they deserve more, deserve better, or these are some really intense situations, and it doesn't always have to be something as intense or as serious as rights and stuff like that, but then sometimes it does. So when we think about it, when do people start speaking out for other people? And it seemed to me that it was when they started working. Somebody else told me that it's kind of when they started, when they joined the social class, or just kind of when they started becoming more public. So there's also that, but it's easier to kind of work with, or to use the term, when they started working. So like with black people, when they started working more jobs and things like that, and they obviously can speak for themselves. So somebody spoke out for them, saying, "Hey, these guys are doing the same amount of work, but they're getting paid less. So there's something wrong with that, or they're not getting paid at all," which was the original controversy once they actually became free. But on top of that, then there's women, and women, they used to work at home. There's stay-at-home moms, and even some worked in factories, and I'm sure at the same time they still weren't being treated as fairly as Caucasian males. And it wasn't until somebody was like, "Hey, these women are doing the exact same work and they're being paid less, and we need to fix that." So somebody was speaking out for them, whether and that person basically became their voice. And the same thing with black people. And then lastly, with immigrants, they came to this country. They didn't really have a voice because they're immigrants. That's like, hey, you're not even from here, you weren't born here, whatever that means, right? So people, it wasn't until someone actually was like, hey, they don't have a voice because they're immigrants, but they deserve more than what they're getting for what they're doing, and I'm going to start speaking out for them, right? So that's kind of how all this started. I was like, when do people get voices? Because there's still people out there in the world that don't have voices and need to be heard, and somebody has to speak out for them. So is it really about them contributing to society, or becoming public, that makes them, that brings awareness to their conditions? Or Is it just working in general, when I guess the whole contribution thing is making contribution, just working, and experiencing oppression or whatever it is, or experiencing what is it, unfairness or injustice or discrimination, whatever the case is, that causes other people to speak out for them. Which kind of seems like it makes sense, but maybe it's a little bit more complicated, or there's something else that can make it sound, make it clarify the situation a little bit. So, if you have any questions or comments, or if you just have any other examples of people, or if you feel it's even necessary to talk about this, or if it's not necessary, let me know. Kunta, Melodrama Crew, Happy New Year. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Peace.